Hello everyone, I am Tanvi Dandawate Auti, Managing Director of Dhruv Consultancy Services Ltd. I have been a part of this company since the last 7 years, and I am taking care of the operations, the finance and the administration in the company. You all must have recently heard that we are coming up with this preferential issue of rupees 25 crore. This is mainly required for a working capital. Since the last 18-19 years that the company is in existence, we have only been in the consultancy sector, the infrastructure consultancy sector, first with the private sector, then state government, and now predominantly working with the central government, that is National Highway Authority of India and Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Now that we are a listed company on BSE and NSE, it is a responsibility towards our stakeholders that we grow more and more. So it is only possible if we diversify ourselves into other sectors. So we have recently entered into the solid waste management sector, and we have bagged a project in the Yavatmal Municipal Corporation also. Through solid waste, like we all have seen that today the dumping grounds have almost reached the cities, and the height is increasing day by day. So it is very necessary to process these waste, to segregate these, and most important part of it is reusing them in various industries, especially in the road sector. We being a consultant, we have an advantage that the waste that is discarded in these waste management project, we can use it in construction industry itself at large. So a lot of new trends are coming up, and the Honorable Minister Shri Nitin Gadkari is also promoting this idea that use construction material from waste products. Second is the structural repair, small structural repair works. In the last few years, we have seen that the trend has shifted from bitumen roads to concrete roads, and all the roads that are being constructed right now, predominantly most of them are concrete roads. So it is very important to maintain these structures. Few years back, we had been awarded with a project of mobile bridge inspection unit. Through mobile bridge inspection unit, we had to carry out the condition survey in all structures in Gujarat and Maharashtra. All these structures, some of the structures were built in British era. So it is very important to keep on repairing, keep on maintaining these structures. And say for example in city like Mumbai, where metros are being constructed, so crack filling, the painting of these structures also helps us to increase the life of these structures. So Dhruv Consultancy is entering in this area as well. And then right now we are working, as I said, predominantly with the National Highway Authority of India and the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. We have now plans to enter into the international market. So in the international market, in consultancy, we are targeting 3 clients. First is the World Bank, then the Asian Development Bank and African Development Bank. So, and these 3 clients, it's a 2-stage tendering process. So first we submit the EOI, that is the expression of interest. After that we get shortlisted, and then we submit our bids. So I'm happy to say that in the last 6 months we have submitted close to 45-50 bids, and we have been shortlisted in 4 of them, namely in Cambodia, Bangladesh, Zambia and Kyrgyzstan. And we are expecting that from in this financial year we bag at least 2 international projects, and which will add up to our order book.
Okay. So while you are on this, ma'am, it's very nicely you pointed out how your company is performing in these sectors and how you are targeting the international market. So what are the triggers you feel for top line growth, which will enhance your top line growth?
Yes. We have seen in the pandemic itself that there was a slight dip in the revenue, and each and every industry has suffered. So now that the travel restrictions have eased out, and things are better here, the roadblocks that I can see, first is ease of doing business. There are same rules in our country for a large corporate and for an MSME. So if certain reliefs can be given in that area where MSMEs can grow, so it is very difficult for an MSME to raise funds, to raise working capital, which is a major roadblock. At present, though with the help of our IPO, we have been able to reduce our debt to a larger extent. But yes, working capital is a need for all MSMEs in the country. And presently our bankers are HDFC and Punjab National Bank. Our main requirement is non-fund based because we are working with the government. Bank guarantees are required continuously. So the ease with like there should be certain relief in terms of providing bank guarantees from the bankers to MSMEs. So more the bank guarantees, more revenues we will be able to achieve.
Then generally, as people generally face is that the release of money timely after completion of project on the government projects, realization of the money what is blocked, and that is the fundamental roadblock for your working capitals also. And some of them are also from the sector. They say that by and large, the entry barriers in terms of the turnover and the minimum turnover requirement for participating in certain tenders are also, despite having the capabilities, you're still not able to participate because of these entry barriers which are set up by certain wanton high players to reduce competition. Do you feel this trend can be reversed, or government can do something to help you all in this regard?
Yeah. So coming to the first part of your question, now when we talk about money blocking from the government side, there was a certain phase in the pandemic that we saw that the priority was medical sector. So money was being diverted in state as well as central government towards the medical expenditure, and that was the need of the hour. Now things have changed. NHI and MORTH are tracking all systems online. So they have created such platforms where consultants or contractors can see or track their bills online, and certain time limits are set through these systems that the officer has to approve that bill in a certain period of time. So earlier, say if the bill processing time was 90 or 120 days, today it is 45 to 60 days. So this has provided larger relief to the consultants as well as contractors. Also the bank guarantee amounts that were 10% of the fee, today it has come down to 3%. So yes, government is giving major reliefs in these areas, but as I said, in terms of earnest money, security deposits and ease of doing business for MSME, especially in case of bank guarantees where we are working with the government, if some relief can be provided in that area, it will definitely help companies like us to grow further.
And how do you feel, what is the degree of competition? Is it healthy or fierce in this current scenario, post-COVID or post this pandemic?
If I talk about the central government, the first entry barrier that is there is the empanelment. So if you are a 10 years plus aged company, only then, and you are empaneled with the MORTH and NHI, only then are you allowed to participate in tenders. So there are a very few consultants in India, only 20 or 25 consultants who are actually empaneled in the country. And secondly is the equipment. I am very proud to say that today Dhruv has access to all these equipments, say the mobile bridge inspection unit, retroreflectometer, network survey vehicle. So these are the criterias which gives us an edge in competition. Yes, it is a very healthy competition, but since we entered into this market at a very early stage, we have reached among the top 5.
And how are your plans regarding the immediate neighbors in terms of SAARC countries that is there, which is low-hanging fruits?
Yes.
By and large that is being seen by the industry.
Yes.
And how do you feel the government is supporting you in terms of providing entries into these countries. And so if you could also throw some light regarding whatever the challenges in terms of political, economic or challenges that those countries face in terms of awarding such contracts to you all, and how MSME and companies in this sector are faring, and how does Dhruv as a whole plan to handle this opportunities?
Yes. So coming to the international market, now in India also is the same rule that is there in other countries. You cannot actually directly enter into any tender or any work unless you have a local partner with you. So as of today, we are targeting the projects that are being funded by World Bank, African Development Bank, Asian Development Bank, ADB. So they are very good paymasters, and the money control is kept with them, and it is not given to the local governments. So it becomes easier for international consultants, and we have that trust on these three multilateral development banks, that through them there would be the barriers would be eased out. And yes, you require a local partner here as well. So we have formed a new business development team for international assignments here itself in our office, and the team is doing a wonderful job in bagging new projects in other countries. What we have seen is that as opposed to India, these countries are very much underdeveloped. And like we have seen in the past 5-6 years, if a road is constructed or if a highway is constructed, then the other facilities like schools, government hospitals, or IT parks, industrial parks come alongside these roads itself. So people, especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities, they don't have to travel to urban cities for opportunities. That is what is the case in other underdeveloped countries as well. So that is why ADB or World Bank is giving stress on construction of roads, and we feel that Dhruv will be very happy to contribute in the economic growth of these countries as well.
Madam, how about given this current turmoil which is happening in the world in terms of the war, the supply chains having been broken, and in terms of crude oil prices, and in terms of the Fed interest rates that have been highly unpredictable. So how do you feel that your company is in a position to manage this volatility between dollar and rupee exchange rate and to combat this in the coming months and years?
Yeah, so presently Dhruv already has an order book of close to unexecuted order book of 200 crores, and there is always a risk of political instability that any company in the country faces today. The biggest hit that in the last 18-19 years that we faced is the pandemic. I don't think that nothing worse can come after this, and though we have seen that many companies had to shut down in the pandemic, but fortunately we came out of it very brightly, and we feel that that was the worst that could have come, and in the coming few days things would improve like anything. So yes, there is always a risk associated with political instability or wars or anything, but with a strong order book in hand, orders are always there. We have visibility for the next 2 or 3 years in the coming years, and with diversification as well. That is, pandemic taught us that you never put all your eggs in one basket. You have to diversify yourselves, and revenue should be from different sectors, so that if one sector or if one area goes wrong, the other sectors help you out.
So what about that volatility? I just asked you about dollar-rupee exchange rate volatility. Is it going to affect your top line? And
as of today, we are not working in the international market. We are only getting the money in Indian currency. But yes, in international market, because the exchange rate, if there is any volatility in the exchange rate, it will definitely have a hit. Not very much, but marginally, yes.
And what has been the investor feedback and confidence on the performance of your company?
We have after all our whenever our financial results are uploaded, so we always get a feedback. We always get a feedback through conference calls and through investor meets. Since we have been listed on the NSE and migrated to the main board, there has been substantial increase in the number of shareholders also. So we can see that the investor confidence is increasing, and as I said earlier, that in the pandemic, the investors saw that how the company has come out of it. So that has instilled confidence in the investors. And also I would like to add here that during the IPO, those investors who were there with us, they are still there today, because that is the confidence we are able to give our stakeholders. And yes, through diversification and through international business, this will grow more and more.
You are primarily based out of Mumbai.
Yes.
That is it. So, are there any plans to acquire or any other branches and in any other places? And what is any expansion plan or acquisition plan that you have in mind in the coming few years?
Yeah.
Visibility on that.
Yeah. We haven't really thought about any acquisition or any expansion, because so much business is available in the country, in international market, in the sectors that we are planning to diversify, that today acquisition is not the need of the hour. So we haven't really actually thought about it.
And regarding some branches which will be opening up in some new places,
for
or diversifying into, or what do you call, I should say, delegation of your work into.
So if we come to branches, wherever our project is, earlier we were working in only 5-6 states. Today we are working in 23, 24, 25 states. So in every state we already have a presence, not a branch office, but it's a site office which goes on, which is there for about 5 years, 6 years, or sometimes even more, depending on the project tenure. So almost out of 29 we are already there in the 25 states, so they are like our branches itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So how are you able to leverage technology in terms of boosting your revenues, and in this case of ease of doing business in terms
Yes.
of communication with your
Yes.
project sites,
Yes.
so that you get the right inputs, right decision making processes are
Yes.
easily facilitated
Yes.
using IT technology, using various other technology means?
Yes.
And how much interest have you been shown, and how much of investments are you doing in that particular space?
Technology. Okay. So coming to technology, I am from a millennial generation. So compared to the traditional business method, I prefer working. My working style is working with high-tech technology. So since I had entered the business, I have tried to shifted each and every activity of the company. I have introduced technology in each and every activity of the company. For example, accounts. So earlier, even today, Tally is being used worldwide. So we have shifted to new ERP softwares there. HR softwares. Coming to design, which is a core part of our business. It was being done manually, or in the market only AutoCAD is known, but there are so many other softwares available in the market with which designs can be made with ease. So all these softwares are currently being used in our company. Also recently I've developed an internal control system in-house, wherein my IT team is working on the same, because consultancy is a niche, infrastructure consultancy is a niche sector. A direct software isn't available. So we have built an in-house software for tracking, for project management consultancy, and tracking the activities at site on day-to-day basis. So this has helped the management to take faster decisions, and the result of that is, in this financial year, as compared to last financial year, where in 1 year we bagged close to 100 crores of projects, in this year, in the first quarter itself, we have bagged 80 crores, only because faster decisions were taken. Our business development team has become stronger, and with this rate, I think by the end of the year we'll add up another 150-200 crores for sure.
There has been, thanks to all this pandemic and other global crude oil figures and other political upheavals and the war and other scenarios that you see in the last few years, which is being a very traumatic period for the world, and even now some conditions still persist, and which are beyond our control. This has also resulted in a way in the talent churn. So many of the companies, reputed companies, are facing a talent crunch in terms of their best talents being poached by competitors, or maybe even they are, not being supported ably by their employers, that they seek other avenues of enhancing their revenues. So how has this impacted your business, and have you been able to retain the core talent and encourage them and giving them adequate opportunities within the company for progress?
So
I'm sorry the question is long, but
that is okay. No problem. Fortunately, in the last 18-19 years, we haven't seen something like poaching in our organization. The reason being, the talent that we hire in our company is from tier 2, tier 3 cities, where people are very needy, they are sincere, and they have utmost dedication to their work. In our corporate office today, the people who are working since last 10 or 12 years, it's their first job, and till today they have not left the organization. Now, coming to keeping up with the market scenario, where with the new generation also, people want to make money faster, and we have seen these things changing. We, being the only listed company in the infrastructure consultancy sector, provide ESOPs to our employees, and that is the accessibility to ESOP is none of our competitors have this advantage what Dhruv Consultancy has, being a listed company. And along with this, we have different benefits like PF, then group mediclaim, so which is available to them at very reduced prices. So I am proud to say that our employee attrition rate is close to 4-5%, which is way below the market standard right now.
And while we are on this subject, does Dhruv Consultancy provide adequate emphasis on in-house training and grooming?
Yes.
And also in terms of nowadays, there's a larger perception in the market, in which sector you are, that the graduates coming out of the colleges, and particularly in the civil sector, are not adequately equipped to come and directly function in the environment and the demands of this thing. So there is a gap between, one is their expectations versus your perception, and second thing, there is also a gap between what they can deliver and what we expect. So how do you bridge that?
So coming to the learning and development, for the young graduates, what we have adopted a strategy that we tie up or sign MOUs with colleges. So as on date, we have signed MOUs with colleges like RIT Islampur, MIT Pune, then Sihagat College Pandharpur. So what they send their budding engineers, BTech and MTech, to our company for a period of 6 months, minimum 6 months, maximum 1 year, before they get their degree. So they are actually introduced to the industry much before they enter the market. So we try them we try them to show how the industry works, what are the industry expectations, and what softwares you need to learn, what kind of training is required, and say their last year projects for MTech and BTech. So we send them on sites where they get hands-on technical experience, and with that background they are much more, they come out much more confident than their peers in their colleges. And then if at all that student performs well, we merge him in our organization itself, and then we don't have to invest in his training. So this is the strategy that we have adopted. And for our current employees, now that technology is changing, a lot of new softwares are coming, and even NHI and MORTH have shifted to online. So we need to match up to the pace and expectations of the client. So every year for a period of 6 months we carry out learning and development sessions, technical training as well as grooming, leadership training, because now today's mid-level employees are going to be the future of tomorrow, and today if we invest in this younger generation, uh, they will uh, uh, they will take this company forward and help us reach to great heights. We being in the consultancy sector, employees are our assets, so it is our duty and responsibility to invest maximum in the employees so that they become the future of tomorrow.
And you also, your company Dhruv Consultants have also been receiving a lot of accolades and awards over the years for the quality and services that you have been
Yes.
rendering to your
Yes.
clients.
Yes.
So, any particular award that has been, you would like to highlight, which has been, which you're very proud of, or how more such awards can be won by people or emulate you from other people can learn from you to achieve such heights.
Savitri.
Huh. Yeah. So one award that is very close to us and has been very prestigious is the Savitri River Bridge. So in 2016, in August 2016, we had heard about the Savitri Bridge collapsed in high flash floods, and few buses and a lot of people died in that accident because the bridge had collapsed on the Savitri River near Mahad. The next day when the minister and all the political leaders came up on the site, they saw the condition, and then Shri Nitinji Gadkari, the Honorable Minister, he took up the responsibility of constructing this bridge, constructing a new bridge in a period of 180 days. So we were nominated as the consultant for this particular project, and TNT Infra Projects was the contractor. And I am very proud to say that this bridge was handed over, was open to traffic in a record period of 165 days. So this is one of the proudest achievement that we have today. Contractor plays a major role in the construction, but a contractor plays a major role in the construction, but giving timely approvals from the consultancy side, giving timely approvals from the consultants is equally important to carry out this project in a faster and smoother way.
Dhruv Consultants, I've heard and also seen your brochures, does a lot of CSR activities
Yes.
for the society,
Yes.
and has been of late a trendsetter from the MSME and M sectors that who are doing human services to the society in
Yes.
terms of offering CSR funds in relevant areas. If you could highlight certain important CSR projects that you have successfully completed or
Yes.
are involved in,
Yes.
and which would really make lives better for the
Yes.
community.
Yes. Social responsibility is every human's responsibility today. We, being a listed company, have more responsibility towards the sector. Under CSR, our prime mission has been education. So we have been associated with certain schools and engineering colleges, wherein our expert staff goes to these colleges and conducts lectures, conducts various seminars, various workshops for them, wherein they get access to what has been happening in the industry, especially in the tier 2 cities, where there are people who haven't traveled outside their village or outside their town, and for them even coming to Mumbai is a much bigger thing in their life. So we give access, we take these people to our sites, wherein to sites such as expressway projects that the company is working on today, so that they get hands-on technical experience. Secondly, we provide them with machinery in their labs where testing can be carried out. So we procure these machines, and we donate them to such engineering colleges. And coming to schools, since these children are going to be the future of tomorrow, it is very important to instill proper knowledge in these children. So we go to schools in Zilla Parishad, in small districts, and we impart road safety knowledge in them, and we carry out certain fun workshops, and through games and through activities we try to tell them how important road safety is. I have seen in such villages that there are no roads, but tomorrow when these people come to the cities, they should understand the importance of road safety. We have seen a lot of deaths in the pandemic in the last 2-3 years, but what we all must also see, that maximum accidents or deaths happen in our country due to road accidents. So today, if we contribute imparting knowledge to these young children for road safety, it will save lives for the future generations.
Any other particular achievements that you would like to highlight which has been covered?
Yeah. So two strengths that we have been able to achieve in the past 4-5 years. So our projects are awarded not with lowest financial quote. It is due to the highest technical marks that we get. So these technical marks depend on two things. One is the company credentials, how big is the company, what is the turnover, what kind of assignments, how many number of employees you have, and secondly is the key professionals that we propose for a particular project. So I am very happy to say that earlier, before 3-4 years, we were achieving a score of 88-89 out of 100. Today we are able to achieve 95-96. There are certain factors to it. First is the employees. We have the maximum number of employees who have been here with us for more than 10 years compared to any other consultant. This gives us an edge. Secondly, we have all the equipments that are required to carry out these projects in terms of technology. And third is turnover and being a listed company. So this gives us an edge over our competitors, and even one single mark of in this technical score carries a weightage of 25 lakh. So with greater technical score, greater profitability is achieved.
Thank you, ma'am.